Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have the fish in the percolator, the Princess of Cups, or the Page of Cups. That is a card all about dreams, all right? Let's put that into some context. I feel like you might be having kind of more vivid dreams than usual. You might be really receiving a lot of communication from the spiritual world or from the intuitive unconscious world, right? And I think that sometimes our dreams can come into conflict with our daily lives. So we've got a Five of Wands there. We've got a Hierophant here. We've got an Ace of Wands here. Oh, we haven't had this card in a while. This is the portal card. This is the card that represents the new moon, 12/12 portal, whatever you want to call it. This is the Eon Judgment, rebirth, reawakening, the baptism by fire. This is the doorway to the future. Right? The doorway to the future. Very interesting. But we also have balance. We've got the adjustment card. Two of Cups. Eight of Wands. And now we've got the Prince of Swords. Double air here. And 9. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting to say the least. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is going to be one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. I'm just going to set it down over here. We'll put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. Happy little Bob. All right. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. Obviously, it's going to tie everything together, right? It's going to give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during the reading you start to feel like maybe you know what it's going to be, put your answer down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a little more interactive here. Let's do it as an exercise in intuition. All right. First, let's get started here. Major, major, major. Okay. Fire, fire, fire. Water, water. Air and air. No earth energy necessarily, except for the earth that's down here. Now, this earth is the Hierophant earth. It's Taurus energy. This, I think, to me, is the kind of earth that we want to break away from, right? This is the kind of, almost the mundane, almost the ordinary, right? So maybe we'll start here. This is your ability to show up every day. You know, this is your ability to commit. And I think that you do show up every day. I feel like you have a very reliable energy to you. You know, people can count on you. And this is something that you probably feel is an essential quality in yourself, right? You wouldn't give this up. This goes against your principles, your sense of who you are. You know, and I think that you've been very comfortable somewhere in life. You're in a situation. Maybe it's a work thing, a career. Maybe it's a course of study. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a family thing. Whatever it is, it's life, right? I think you're in a pretty good place in life. I think it's a very stable and steady place in life. You show up every day, and it shows up for you. All right? It's nice. It's real nice. But I think you're kind of dreaming of something more. The last reading we did for you, I think we had a lot of water energy there. I think maybe it was even the Two of Cups. You're dreaming of something else. You're dreaming of something, not necessarily something different, but just something more. Something deeper, right? You want to show up every day. You want it to show up for you every day, but you want there to be some magic, some love, some bond, some union. There's something that is soul satisfying. Yeah. Because the Hierophant is very practical earth energy. It's very stubborn. This says once we get into a routine that seems like it's working, we don't want to get out of that groove. The more we do things, the more we're going to continue to do them that way because it's the way that works. Maybe it's not the best way. Maybe it's not the most efficient. Maybe it doesn't feel the best. Maybe it's not ideal, but it works. Right? And the more we do it, the easier it is to keep doing it. And it makes the disruption of the routine harder and harder and harder. That's why, habits are so hard to break. We've created those grooves in our minds, right? Those in our neural pathways, in our literal brains, in the literal earth energy of our bodies. We've created these very easy pathways. It's easy to keep doing things the same way every time, especially if it has a more or less good result. So we get stuck in these habits. And this is like a smoking habit. I used to smoke back in the day. That's a hard habit, even though we know it's not good for us. Why do we keep doing it? The more we do it, even if it's just that kind of instant pleasure that we get from it, makes it even a deeper groove in our brains, in our minds, in our neural pathways. It makes it even harder to get out of this. So when we get the immediate satisfaction of something, we're more likely to do it again for that immediate satisfaction, even if we know that in the long haul, in our abstract thought, our speculative philosophy, it's not very smart. We keep doing it. No, I don't think you're a smoker. I hope not. If you are, hey, that's your prerogative. I feel like this is the way a lot of us kind of go through life. We found a groove that works. I'm just going to stay here, I feel like you're being called to something else, right? I feel like that's why we've got all this fire. There's a lot of fire here. We've got a lot of fire over here. We've got a lot of water over here and this justice energy. And we've got more fire. And we've got to deal with this kind of nasty air at the end here. And I feel like this is what we're really trying to avoid. And this is pain, right? The Nine of Swords. This is a reason why we don't want to, and this is a literal double-edged sword. This is why we don't want to get out of the groove now, because it feels good when we do it. When you have that cigarette, it feels nice, right? When we do that habit, in the very present moment, it seems like it feels good. Now, the idea here is that it's actually not good. And then the idea is also that in the long run, it's not good either. So it's not good now and it's not good later, yet we keep doing it. We want to avoid the pain, the apparent pain of disrupting these routines, disrupting the habit, disrupting the very kind of smooth flow that we found. Because you know what? When you get out of a routine, when somebody comes in and disturbs like the schedule that you have in the morning, let's say, I wake up, go to the bathroom, get some coffee, maybe not in that order, but that's the routine. But then if something were to happen, if there's a knock at the door, if there was a phone call, if there was some kind of, not an emergency, but something out of the ordinary, that's discomfort, right? And that's kind of the Nine of Swords here. And it's the Nine of Swords, sometimes we need that discomfort, right? That's what Castaneda used to call stalking your routine, stalking yourself, right? Learn your, when you're, for anyone who's hunting, I'm not a big fan of hunting, but I know a lot of people hunt. You have to stalk your prey. You have to learn their habits, learn their routines. What's the path that it usually takes to get back to its nest, that sort of thing. I like doing that not just to learn about the animals, not to interfere with their lives in any way, but learn how to observe nature. Learn how to observe yourself, right? And we don't have to be hunters, but we can be, lack of a better word, stalkers, right? We have to learn how to observe our own routines and see how we might be stuck in a groove that really isn't that good for us. And recognize how difficult it will be, Five of Wands, how difficult it will be to get out of that groove, right? So when we first start pulling away from from the Hierophant, it's not going to be so easy. The Hierophant's going to resist us. Anytime you start doing something that's kind of unexpected or out of the routine or out of the ordinary, or that threatens the kind of dogma and doctrine of the established system, you're going to meet with some resistance. Okay, and this is us, the Five of Wands, this is us trying to get out of this groove because I think you're feeling a calling toward a higher path, a higher purpose. The Princess of Cups, the fish in the percolator, you're starting to see some weird stuff, I'm pretty sure. Dreams, visions, epiphanies, right? Daydreams, night dreams, signs, symbols, omens, synchronicities. You're starting to see a lot more fish in the percolator. Looking for things that are there that shouldn't really be there. Double takes, I think you're starting to experience more of that. And I think it's leading you somewhere. Now, I don't know where. We're all different. You're all very different. If we continue on this path, it's leading you toward a particular doorway. The spirit, the universe is leaving you little breadcrumbs to this really, really grand portal, this really, really huge, huge doorway in your life. I wonder, I'm even getting, because we've got this idea of the struggle, all this fire energy, I kind of getting like a tooth issue or some kind of a dental problem. And I don't know if that's kind of something that wakes us up out of our routine. And it's usually when something's in dis-ease, when something is in disharmony, when something's kind of, not functioning smoothly, that's when you'll notice, right? When your body's not working right, that's when maybe you'll get the toothache. Something's not right. Otherwise, you don't really hear from your teeth very much, right? You don't really notice them in there unless there's a problem, And I think that's kind of what's going on now with all this fire energy. I think you're kind of noticing more problems. And yeah, maybe for some of you, it's kind of, there's this toothache and it's just kind of like, yeah, I've got a lingering ache in my mouth that maybe we try to ignore. We try to just stay in our groove and ignore that, but if we're paying attention, if we're learning about ourselves and we're observing ourselves, yeah, I've had this pain in my mouth for weeks now. It's time to do something about it. You felt this uneasiness in your soul for a while. It's time to do something about it. Yeah. And I feel like we are headed up to this major breakthrough. This is the rest of your life here we're talking about. And I think you have a little bit of an idea. Here's the Ace of Wands, and this is kind of behind everything. I think maybe you've had, I think you were on a different path at some point in your past. Okay? Because with the Ace of Wands, I feel as if this is kind of the source that we're trying to get back to. See, everybody thinks of the ace as the beginning of something. I've been starting to look at it more like the return to something. And the 5 is kind of halfway. We're halfway there, you know? And it's almost, what do they say is half the battle? Knowing is half the battle, or whatever that is. Observing yourself in this situation, feeling the toothache is half the battle, right? We're halfway home. And we're trying to get back. It's almost like we're not trying to go forward after something new. We're trying to return to something that was always with us, that is still always with us, that is essential to ourselves. It is ourself. And that's why this doorway, maybe past and future just don't really mean much. Right? Maybe it's not forward or backward that we're going. We're just going inward. We're going back. This is the doorway, yes, to the rest of your life, but to your whole life. The beginning, the middle, the end, the inside, outside, the whole thing. The source of your life, right? This is your essential spirit here. And I think it is providing this toothache, this uneasiness, trying to get you to pay attention to this dream, pay attention to the synchronicities. Right? On the other side of that, we've got the justice or adjustment card. And I still can't really get a good grip on this card right now, because I don't know what its purpose is in this trio of major arcana energy, other than acting as a bit of a bridge between these two. Maybe the adjustment card, this is the Libra energy, it's air energy. Maybe this is that self-awareness. Maybe this is how we get from Hierophant down below to the Eon or the Rebirth card up above. Maybe this is that card of not judging, not being judgmental, not assigning a value on what we're doing, not looking at our habits and thinking that's bad, but just observing it, right? Seeing what it is that we do, so we know how to lean more toward the spirit, more toward that dream, right? We're not judging, we're not condemning, we're not feeling guilty or shamed or anything like that. It's just observation, so that we can begin to observe the other side of things. We observe all of the routine and all of the that's where it kind of feels most comfortable to be. Well, let's observe the toothache. Let's observe where it feels uncomfortable to be, because that, I think, is what is leading you closer to yourself, closer to manifesting this ultimate dream. So I think this is the card of self-observation, self-awareness, but not judging. Right? Just noticing it. Right? Just noticing things. Now, we're going to move to the path of the serpent over here. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Right? Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything, and it helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. Also, leave me some comments. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. We have an audience that spans the entire globe, and I really do love to see that. It's fascinating to me. So what is the dream? Well, general energy, 2 of Cups. Well, again, this is love, right? In a very, very fundamental way, this is love. Connecting with that which you love. Connecting with your bliss, connecting with your purpose, connecting with your meaning, right? The purpose of your life. And it might be uncomfortable to make this kind of transition, to find a balance somewhere here, to observe that we've been in this groove. And it might be painful to climb out of that groove and go through this big transition into this kind of following your dream kind of life. Right? Pursuing your true love. Whether this is whatever, career thing, an art thing, relationships, it's a life reading, right? This isn't just career or romance or whatever. This is life. Right? So this 2 of Cups is you finding what it is that what does your soul really want to do with your life? We're all in a groove, right? We all have our routines. We all have our habits. Just try doing something different and see how that makes you feel, how that changes your awareness. Just tie the other shoe first one time and see what that does for you, you know? Just switch it up, you know? Disrupt yourself. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be painful. But I think it's going to reveal a lot about what is it that you truly want? What is the path in life that you're after now? We don't have to know, oh, well, it's always been my dream to be, I don't know, a famous actor. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that is, maybe it's you kind of doing more things that express that in you. It doesn't mean that you have to just kind of quit your job and quit your life and go move to Hollywood. That sounds like it might not be the smartest thing to do. We have to be reasonable here. We're going to use that adjustment card to kind of keep ourselves in check a little bit. But can we enrich our lives? Can we have a more value-filled life if we're able to connect with ourself in that way and put some of our ambition over into those dreams in some way? Again, it doesn't mean you have to quit everything and move to Hollywood, but maybe you could, take some classes. Find ways to explore that desire in you, right? Ways that are not going to negatively impact your life, but in ways that will add to the richness and value of your life. But you can't do that if we're staying in this groove, right? In this groove, there's no room for anything outside of what we've always been doing. So take a risk. Go take a class. Maybe just the prospect of that feels uncomfortable. Well, there's time. I got to pick up the kids. I got work, and you're doing all these other things. It would be really an inconvenience, right? To have to add something to your plate, but that's part of our own brain and mind trying to keep us in the groove. Because it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be an inconvenience. It's going to be one more thing in your day that you got to go do. But if it's something that leads you closer to yourself, closer to your true passions, your true love, right? Maybe this is the idea of having a significant other, having a family. Well, you're so wrapped up in these other things, this other groove. Well, I don't have time. I don't know where to meet people. I don't like dating. Whatever. It's going to be uncomfortable. But I think it's the right kind of discomfort, The next card is very interesting to me. It's the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands really tells me that a lot of different things that you choose, there's a lot of opportunities for you to express this dream, this desire, right? We're out here searching for the rainbow. There's a lot of things you can do to bring yourself there. It's not just there's this idea kind of with the ace and with the two that you want to be a famous actor in Hollywood. No, that's what you got to go do. You got to put all your energy into that, No, this is a card that says, let's get creative. We have this desire, we have this passion, we have this kind of problem, right? Something in us that needs to be fulfilled. There are a lot of different ways to explore that energy and to satisfy that drive. And, the more we go and experiment and explore, the more we'll kind of refine that path. There's not a lot of swords cards here, to be honest with you. There are some that kind of coming here towards the end, which we talked about. But there's not really this. There's not a suggestion here that you have to have a definite plan. We don't have to have everything mapped out. That's some of this energy here that we've been talking about. It's okay to not know. It's okay to just be like, I feel like I just want to act, or, play guitar or whatever, be involved in music and have that kind of, I feel that way about music. I love music. And I think, to be honest, I'll let you in on a little personal note here. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore. And the reason I think that is because I love it so much. Because I'm stuck in this groove of doing everything else, that when I listen to music, it reminds me of how badly I love music and wanted to kind of do that in life, And so I avoid that because it's uncomfortable for me. A little personal secret there. But it's something that I still think about, something that I still want to explore in some way. And, it's finding little ways to have that in your life until we can slowly kind of narrow down a more specific path and decide, well, do I want to make this my full-time ambition, or is it something that I'm okay with just as kind of a hobby, after work or on the weekends that I can just kind of fully immerse myself in? We've got to find what that passion is and then figure out how to have those moments, right, as much as we can, to a greater or lesser degree. And again, the more we explore it, the more we experiment, the more refined that plan will become. Because right now, we've got the Prince of Swords in the position of what we don't want, right? And we don't want the confusion. We don't want to be like, well, I know what I feel passionate about, but I just don't know how to get it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to experience it in life. And then it just becomes pain. Now it's just like I'm aware of how much I want to do music. But now I just have this pain every time I think about music or hear music, And that's just an example. But it's this not knowing what to do, feeling it, but not knowing how to go after that feeling. That leads to some discomfort too. That leads to, I think, real pain. Not just the discomfort that we might feel with this fire, with the Five of Wands, but a real pain that you have this passion, you know what it is, but you feel like there's no way to experience it, right? And that's what we've got to change. And I think that's what this Eon or Rebirth card is doing for you right now, right? Let's look at the mystery card, though, shall we? I'm very, very curious about this one. Maybe the Empress. Maybe we are finding a way to enjoy this passion of ours, this love, this true love, this connection, this meaning, this purpose, If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. I don't know. I don't think I've been so tuned in today. I haven't gotten a single one of these correct today. I don't know. Maybe the water energy needs to expand. Maybe we need a 9 of Cups. Yeah. Maybe we need a 9 of Cups. I think a 5 of Cups would be okay too. Showing that we're kind of halfway there. We're dipping our toe in the water, we're experiencing it. We don't have everything figured out yet, but at least we're not denying that part of us anymore. Now we're accepting it. Now we're working toward more wholeness, more completion. Maybe we need the World card. Let's see what we have. Oh, that's a Tower. This is interesting to me because this is kind of, it's light and shadow, right? We don't want to destroy our life. We don't want to disrupt our life completely. We don't want to bring the tower down. We don't want to crumble the life to dust, right? But at the same time, we need to let our spirit free. We need the realization that comes with the tower moment. And maybe we do need a little bit of a tower moment. We need this breakthrough, right? We need to understand what it is that what this fire is within us. See, this fire has been wrapped up in this earth energy, and that is the tower. This way. This is the tower, right? So what we're doing is we're stripping away some of this earth energy to reveal that fire, to reveal that spirit, that passion, that love, your essence, right? But we've got to do so in a way that's not going to disrupt our lives completely, not going to ruin our lives over it, you know? But find a way to have this self-expression in a way that is balanced and responsible, you know? So I like this. I like the Tower, you know? We need to have these kinds of breakthroughs. And this is kind of an energy, too, that says it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to just put a lid on this. You know, you can't just you can't just put more bricks around this fire energy. The pressure is just going to build. We've got to find an outlet for this energy. You know, otherwise it's just going to keep building up pressure. And I think then it's going to disrupt our lives in a way that's undesirable. Okay? So we need a voluntary Tower moment rather than an involuntary one. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, click on the link that's either above or below in the video description. I'm here every day from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Chicago time. Come back, see me again tomorrow. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything, and it's very good for the channel. All right. Leave a comment for me as well. I love hearing from all of you. If you have a business or a website or anything that you would like to promote, go to the community page, first post, leave it in the comments. Plug your website, your book, your band, whatever it is, right? Your YouTube channel, small business, anything. We're using that as a Dove and Serpent Tarot yellow pages, you know. So go ahead and advertise whatever it is that you do, whatever it is you want to promote over there on the community page. All right, let's support each other. I'd like you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.